Authentic fam? Welcome back to Authentic Alphas, and we are doing our 10th and final episode of What Mexican Women Think About American Men, CDMX. So, I have a young lady with me here, and she speaks English, thank God. So, this will be a lot easier than some of the other interviews have been. Um, so basically we've been asking roughly the same 10, 12 questions and trying to get some feedback, hear, hear what the girls think, and compare it. And I think 10 is a good number because it makes it real easy to get a percentage. So if you ask 10 people a question and five of them answer one way, well, then you know 50% of them think this, right? So I like to go with intervals of 10. I think it makes it real easy to get an estimate. Um, and basically, I think most of the girls have answered almost identically. So I think the opinion on American guys is pretty consistent um, across, as far as the things that I asked. I tried to keep it pretty simple and let you guys know how you're viewed here, what the girls think about Americans. Because a lot of it is going to be out of your control just simply because stereotypes exist. You know what I'm saying? TV, media, Hollywood, it's a thing. So people have a certain expectation or perspective of groups of people that they may have never really interacted with or interacted with few of them. And they think they have an idea of how those people are just based on um, the images and stories that they've been told. So if you're in America, you know that we view Mexican people a certain way based on our media. We view black people a certain way based on our fucking media. So that's how that works. And if you're a black American and you travel, the assumption is that you're some kind of athlete or entertainer. And most stereotypes have some truth to them. So I will I will admit that. Stereotypes definitely are based on something. There there's some truth to them. I'm not gonna say that they're, you know, the gospel. But there is definitely some truth to all stereotypes or some reason why that perception exists. Um, Niggas don't travel. You know what I mean? And I've said that since I was a teenager. Because I was always talking to different types of people, different groups of people, regardless of where I'm from or what I think or what I believe. I'm always interested in other people's experience and perspective. So I was from the hood, but I still spoke to white kids. When I went to public school, I still spoke to kids that went to private school. When I went to private school, I spoke to kids that went to public school. So I knew from an early age that we are conditioned to think that we have to act, think, talk, and behave a certain way based on where we're from and how we look or what race or religion or whatever the fuck we are. And I noticed that real quick because I would always put things into a real simple perspective. But the way I put things in perspective doesn't have to be overly complicated. If I'm talking to a kid that's 19 and he's white, and then I'm talking to a black kid that's 19, it's easy for me to say, compare what the 19-year-old white boy is doing and thinking and saying to what the 19-year-old black kid is doing, thinking and saying. And when the 19-year-old dude graduates high school and he done saved up some money for the past, 3, 4 years, he's backpacking through fucking Prague. He wants to go to Europe. He wants to go to Amsterdam and smoke weed legally. He wants to go to England, you know what I mean? Then he wants to take the train over to Italy and whatever the fuck. That's what he wants to do with his money. And then that same black kid, give him the same amount of money and he wants to go buy some Jordans and some rims. So I had already peeped that. And I was like, that's real interesting that we think that that's what we're supposed to be doing just based on where we're from and how we grew up. And I always thought it was interesting how nobody dared think outside of the box. You know what I mean? If you do this, you're not a real nigga. You're not supposed to do this, or you're not supposed to think like that because you look like this. So it's really, really fucking interesting how limited we are mentally. So I have to experience that when I travel. People always assuming, oh, this guy must be a rapper or an athlete or he must tell jokes or some shit because he's black and he's on a fucking flight to another continent. Why can't I be traveling for the same reason that white people travel? So anyhow, that's how that works. And here in Mexico, the questions are like endless. Why are you here? You here for work? Are you here for vacation? It's like, why can't I be here because I feel like being here? Why can't I be here for the tacos? right? That's going to go over their head because in their mind, you have to be allowed to travel, right? So either you're forced to travel for work or you were given permission to travel because you're on vacation from work. That's the thought process here. It's very, very narrow, it's very binary. So I see that that's the thought process that's being pushed on us across the world. Everything has to be binary. You're either this or you're this. There's no fucking in between. There's no gray area. There's no margin for individuality, right? So anyhow, I say all of that as to say, if you do decide to take many guys' advice as far as traveling and do the passport gang thing, just know that you are already going to be preconceived. Like you're already going to be put into a stereotype before your ass even gets off the fucking plane. They're already putting you in a box. So all you niggas going to DR and Brazil, don't be surprised when every chick tries to charge you because that's the way they looking at y'all. Like y'all coming here to buy some box. Duh. And then there's a lot of people that are perpetuating stereotypes, which also is very irritating. It's bad enough that negative stereotypes exist. What's even worse is when people sit there and support them. They perpetrate and spread that assumption for everybody else. So it's like for me to go somewhere and a chick think I'm gonna pay for box, it's like you done lost your fucking mind. Look at me, though. Like I need to pay for fucking box. But there's a lot of dumbass broads that think that because they're like, oh, American guy, oh, he must be here to pay for sex. So I'm saying all of these things as to say, guys, don't think that you're gonna just like get on a plane, go somewhere, and you're gonna determine how people view you or interact with you. You're not. They're already gonna be looking at you a certain way. So kind of know that and plan accordingly. All right. All right. So let me introduce this young lady. What time is it? It's Buenos Tardes or what is it right now? I could just say afternoon, right? Mm-hmm. Good afternoon.
Hello. Good afternoon.
What is your name?
My name is Rose.
Okay. All right. How are you, Rose? Where are you from? How old are you?
I'm here from Mexico. Mexican. I'm 31.
Mm-hmm.
What else was?
What part of Mexico?
I'm from a small town from Mexico called Tulancingo, but I'm living right now and working here in Mexico City.
Yeah, never heard of that before. What is that town known for?
It's like 2 hours from Mexico City.
No, but what is it known for? Like what?
Food.
You produce food? Like what do you?
Well, Mexico is a really big country, and there are a lot of small towns that you can visit. Mine is known for clothing, from making clothes and
like by hand.
Food. Yep.
Okay.
Food.
Like that's what I was asking. When you say food, you mean like certain recipes, or are you talking about like producing food, like farmers?
Recipes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
All right, that sounds pretty interesting. I am so curious as to how Mexico as a country is going to deal with the so-called food shortages, because there are food shortages coming, and for me, they're like late. You know what I mean? I've been telling people about these food shortages for a year, so I probably sounded crazy last year telling people go buy deep freezers, go buy generators, start stocking up on unperishable food and all this kind of shit. People are just acting like I'm some kind of fucking weirdo. But now they actually are starting to admit, yes, there's going to be food shortages. But what I'm saying is, I'm like really curious is how is that going to affect Mexico when there's food everywhere? Like everywhere I look, there's food, and let me explain what I mean by I don't understand how it's going to correlate here. What is creating the food shortages is some type of there's going to be some type of line, right? Some type of chronological line as to where the food is actually produced to when it actually arrives to the countries and cities where the people need the food. Now, what I'm trying to say is here in Mexico, I'm trying to figure out where's going to be the disruption in that assembly line when like the people are independently producing food and then physically taking it into market and selling it. You see what I'm trying to say? Like where's the factory line breakdown in that? Like, somebody's growing food and then they bring the food to the towns and the cities where there's a lot of people, where there's traffic, they set up their shit and they sell. So where's going to be the disruption is what I'm trying to say. Where's it going to be like, oh, the food didn't get from here to here because of the transport, or the food, there was an increase in price because of the fuel. Where's that going to be when the dude is literally bringing the shit into town himself?
I don't know.
I don't know. But I feel like I'd rather be here when all those food shortages so-called arrive. Anyhow, I don't know. It's just something I've been thinking about because I cannot describe to you guys how abundant food is in Mexico. Like it's, and I don't know if you can understand what I'm trying to say. Because how many
Yeah,
times have you been to the U.S.?
like four.
4 times.
Um,
But you notice what I mean. Like there isn't just food everywhere in the U.S.
well, personally, I don't like American food. I don't like
Mhm.
it. It's like always so greasy all the
But you see
time.
what I mean. Like in America, you have to like go. Like the food is like
Yeah,
controlled. You get what I'm
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
say? Like you either buying fast food or you're going to a supermarket and buy like there's a whole process
Yeah.
involved, a corporate process involved in how
Now
we
here
get
in
our food.
Mexico, you can go to the corner and
That's what I'm trying
there'll
to
always be
say.
some tacos or something like that.
Right. Here in Mexico, there is food everywhere and in every possible way you can imagine buying food. You can go to a grocery store and actually buy food and put it
Yeah.
through a register, or you can like go to a fast food place and buy some fucking bullshit that was made in a lab, or you can buy some shit from a guy on the corner
Yep,
who
that's
doesn't
true.
have any type of machine to accept debit. He doesn't have PayPal. He doesn't have
Yep.
what is
Only
it?
cash. Only
Right. He doesn't have
cash.
Apple Pay or anything like that. You're
Yeah.
gonna have to hand him fucking pesos. Um, it was funny because yesterday I got lost a little bit, and then I saw some pork rinds. You know how they like just straight up make the pork rinds themselves, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm supposed to be not eating pork," but I was cramping. I needed some sodium, so I was like, "All right, let me just like get like a little piece of pork rind because I know it's super salty." And I gave her 5 pesos, and 5 pesos equivalent to 25 cents, guys. Right?
Yeah.
Uh, no, I'm lying. I think it's even less than that because 20 pesos is about $1. So yeah, it's a quarter. Right. Okay. So 5 cents is equivalent to a quarter. Right. So I gave her the 5 pesos, and she's like reaching for a bag to start bagging shit up, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Just give me like a piece. She still persisted to bag it up, and I wish I had like a picture or something to show you guys the size of the bag that she handed to me for 25 cents.
Oh, lucky you.
The bag was this big. No, it's not about that. I'm just saying it's just like that had nothing to do with nothing. Like I didn't have to go through a register. That shit didn't have to get
Yeah.
shipped from here to there to there. It didn't have to be in a packaging with a logo on it and an expiration date and also the bullshit. She just got pork skin from where she gets it from. She fried that shit up and put it in a bag and passed it to people. So what I'm saying is Mexico is full of that. Fruits, vegetables, meat,
Yeah.
breads, whatever. There's people just making it the shit themselves. So I'm just still trying to figure out how is the food shortage going to come about? Is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like you guys have more food here than you can sell,
Yeah, we export a lot of our food.
but still too
Yeah.
much food is what I'm trying to say. Like after you export, even here, like this, there's just too much food.
Well, maybe in the cities, in the big cities, maybe. But
Mm.
if you go to the really, really poor parts of Mexico, that's not happening. So that's a problem that we have here. In the big cities, we have a lot of food,
Too much.
too much, but
Too much
in
food.
the small and poor towns of the other parts of Mexico, there's no food coming out. So that's a problem here.
I really want guys to come here and see it for themselves because I don't want anybody to think that I'm like exaggerating. What I'm trying to say is like you will see like several people selling fruit all on the same street. They all will have like a lot of people buying from them, waiting in line, whatever, whatever. But then they all will still have like fruit and vegetables going bad. Like they can't sell it fast enough, is what I'm trying to say to you guys. It blows my mind. And then in America, it is such a struggle to get quality fruit and vegetables. And I'm coming from a farmer's background. My grandparents were farmers. I grew up on a farm. My first few years of my life was on a farm. So that's always been very important to me. And knowing the quality of produce has always been like something that I'm well aware of. So I grew up just being so disappointed with American produce. Like the shit is trash. So trying to find decent fruit and vegetables in America is like near to impossible. Even Whole Foods, the shit is trash. But here, the real shit is everywhere. And I'm just trying to figure out how is this even possible because the land is not that much different in Mexico than it is in America. Technically speaking, it's the same land. It's just an imaginary line that's separating it. So there's a lot of bullshit propaganda that they're telling us because why do we need to import food from Mexico in the first fucking place? That should be the first question. If the land mass is the same, why do we have to import food from across an imaginary border? You see what I'm trying to say? It's the same shit. And then the food that comes over here is trash because they have to put all kind of fertilizers and all kind of preservatives and all kind of bullshit so that the food can last through that commute, then be put in a grocery store for several days before it actually sells. That's why the food is trash. The food here is real and organic, so they have a very small window to sell it before it starts going bad. That's A, why it's so fucking good, but it's also B, why I said you guys can't sell the food fast enough. But anyway, food is important to me, guys. That's why I'm here. So sorry to put you on that rant, but I don't give a fuck. Like I said, food is important to me. It's what keeps us healthy. That's what keeps us out of the doctor's office. So let me get to these questions and feel free to elaborate on any of them because we're going to put that English to use that you have. All right, so you told us your name, you told us your age, you told us where you're from, and you told me before in the live stream that you were single. So the question is, are you still single or dating?
I'm dating now.
Now you have time to date?
Yeah, no, that's no. Well, I don't have, but I have a really, really understanding man that can relate to that. So he's too busy too. That's why we're both a really, really busy couple. That's what I say. Yep.
Okay, all right. So that's good. Wait, but where's this guy from?
Mexico City.
Okay, so it doesn't really pertain to this topic, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. So, okay, obviously you don't have children.
No, thank God, no.
Which, in my opinion, is just not really that popular here. You know what I mean? I don't see a lot of single moms here, to be honest with you. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yes, but you are not in the proper city. In Mexico City, it's one thing. If you go to the other parts of the country, I'm sure you will find a lot of single moms.
Yeah, it makes sense though. It's like my granddaddy used to tell me. He was like, back in the day, we didn't have nothing to do but work and make babies. So I think it's what do you have to take up your time?
Well, it's more like the traditional way of thinking. Still remains in that part of the country. So everybody thinks that that's the goal. That you have to study, work, and get married, have children, have a house and a car.
Yeah, but that is the goal. I'm talking about single moms. I'm talking about women that are 20, 22, 23, 24, having babies before they're married. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't see a lot of that. But I agree. I'm pretty sure that's because we're in the cities.
Yep.
Where the women have plenty of things to do to occupy their time. Yep. And they're not going to, get pregnant unexpectedly because it limits their movement. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's the truth.
That's what it really is, man. Women be acting like, why they do or don't have children is like so righteous. It's like, no, man, it's a selfish thing. Women will have kids to try to keep a dude, and women will avoid having children to maintain the freedom to fuck around. If they're making money, getting money, that'll be their reason not to have kids. If they're pursuing education, that'll be their reason not to have kids. And if they're trying to travel and live their best life, that'll be their reason not to have kids. So, don't get into thinking that's about feelings. They try to act like it's about feelings. That shit ain't got shit to do with feelings. It's what suits them, what best suits them. Anyhow, that's just something that I try to point out to guys because it's a big issue in the Western world. In the Western world, it's huge. And a lot of guys think America is bad. Go to UK. UK is crazy, bro. It's like the average chick between fucking 20 and 30 has multiple children by different men. Like, it's more common in the UK for a female to have children by different fathers than it is to have multiple children by the same father. You don't believe me? Go do your fucking research. And that shit blows my mind because that's wow. That's very telling. Just think about what I just said for a second. A female that has more than one child in the UK is more likely to have more than one child by different fathers than to have more than one child by the same man. I'm gonna repeat that one more fucking time because it just blows my mind that that's above the norm. That's more than less. Okay, so if you have a female in the UK that has more than one kid, she's far more likely to have different fathers for those children than the same. That's crazy. In any part of the world, that's crazy. Because that means that the women have lost their mind and the men have lost their mind. That means both have lost their fucking mind. That one you can't even just blame on the women. Because what that means is that she already had a kid by some dude and you were like, oh, what's another one? You see what I'm trying to say? That means that some dumbass went and made another baby with her and she already had a kid by another dude. And it's a large likelihood that she'll go ahead and have a third child now by some other dumbass that's going to come along and be the third baby daddy. Anyhow, guys, moving on. That type of shit just blows my fucking mind because I'm trying to think, what is it like growing up as a kid when your brothers and sisters are by different, whatever, man. This shit is just, we're going to hell, man. Anyhow, all right, so don't have children. All right, so what do you think about American men? You speak English, you're moving around the country traveling, and you've been to the U.S. So what do you think about American guys?
Well, I think that it depends. It really depends on the part of the country. Are you visiting or are you dating too?
Oh, where the guys from?
Well, I have traveled. I have been to America several times. I have been to Miami. I have been in LA and Chicago. And it's a big difference between Chicago people
Yep.
and between Miami and LA. So I really think that it depends on where are you. So that's what I can say. It's not the Chicago guys are like I don't want to say this, but I think that there's a lot of a little bit more racist stuff there. When I was there, if they most of the people, it's like two variants. There were a lot of people that when they hear you speaking in Spanish, because when I went with some friends to a dental meeting because I'm a dentist. So we went and we were in the subway and you know, Latinos are like really loud and we're all laughing and giggling and we oh yeah and all stuff and the people were like
Fucking immigrants.
yeah, that's the truth. And we went to the fast food stores and that was crazy that our Latino root people get mad if we ask things in Spanish. And I thought like, you look like a Central American or like a Mexican too, so chill. So, and that's the weird thing that happens when you go to US. In some parts, you find Mexicans parents. I don't know how to say that, but people
there's a lot of Mexicans. Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans in certain parts of America
that are born in America, but they have Mexican parents or mother and father that are Mexican, and then you go to there and they treat you like shit, and you say, your parents are like immigrants too. What's the deal? No, so
in Chicago, they're different though.
Yeah, in Chicago we found a lot of people like that. So, but in fact, I have to say, white people. They were really welcoming with us.
Yeah, well, you gotta be careful with that. That's because white people are not allowed to sound racist. They're not allowed to be perceived as racist, so they're real careful, is what it is.
Yeah, but I know it's like half and half. That's what
Right.
I found there.
Yeah, America is tricky, man.
Yep.
Our country is built on racism, and racism is built on propaganda. So, our country literally gives you the green light to be discriminatory against certain groups of people while shaming you for being discriminatory against other groups of people. It's the biggest fucking hypocrisy ever. It's like, oh, you're allowed to shit on heterosexual white men right now. In this time frame, you could say any disrespectful, degrading shit you want about straight white men, but you're not allowed to say anything about gay white men. It's like, wait, what? So hold on. So you're responsible for racism and colonizing and all this other fucking exploitatory shit if you're straight, but all of a sudden, gay white men have nothing to do with slavery, racism, or any of the other discriminating against. It's just, yeah, America is just funny, bro. It's just our propaganda is so fucking flimsy, but our people are stupid and fall for it. But it's like, yeah, you can call Mexicans criminals and rapists or whatever openly, but you can't criticize black people openly, even if you are black. It's like, you do realize there are Mexicans born and raised in America too, right? Yeah, but they're still criminals, and it's like, and they're taking all our jobs. It's like, what? But you can't say anything about black people though. You see what I'm saying? It's just weird as fuck. It's like, yeah. So it depends on who's in style at any given time. So when the gays are being protected or whatever, oh, you can't say anything about the gay community. And the blacks are supposedly being, I don't know, fighting for equal rights and justice or some shit. You can't say anything about black people. But right now, you're allowed to say stuff about Mexicans, and as long as they're illegal immigrants. And then mind you, America is all illegal immigrants at some point or the other. Yeah, but then you can say whatever you want about cisgendered white males, whatever the fuck cisgendered means. I don't know, all these words that overcomplicate the shit. Just white men. What the fuck? Yeah, so you're allowed to talk shit about them, right? But if you rewind, how many years ago, you were allowed to openly say derogatory things about gay men. See what I'm trying to say? When the whole AIDS epidemic was out or whatever, you were allowed to call them filthy queers and all kind of stuff like that. But then 40, 50 years into the future, oh, hey, can't say anything about the LGBT community. You're not allowed to say anything's gay unless you're gay, and then it is really gay. It's like, wait, what? See what I'm trying to say? It's like, you're not allowed to use the gay word unless you're actually talking about gay. It's like, shut the fuck up. You see what I'm saying? How you can tell me when I can use vocabulary, when I can't use? You see what I'm trying to say? You gotta tell me when I can use certain words and when I can't. And then we will have our presidents come on and say certain things about Mexican people. So it's kind of tricky to expect a certain type of mentality from the people. You understand what I'm saying? When for a whole period of time, when you turn on the news, you have the actual president at the time saying certain things about Mexican people.
Yeah.
And then talking about building a wall and all this type of shit. And then a couple of years later, he's like, Mexicans are fine. I don't care.
Well, what can I say?
So what I'm trying to say is that nobody actually really means it.
Yeah, it's when I've been there, you have the both sides. The thing is that there are some guys that don't like you because you're an immigrant. There are the guys that love you because you're an immigrant.
Well, hold on, do they not like you because you're an immigrant, or do they think?
They think that yes,
they think they're not supposed to like you
yeah.
because you're an immigrant. That's my point. They were told. They were told to blame things on you.
Yeah, but the thing is, I have seen. I don't know how to say this, but sometimes I have been talking to some guys, American guys, and they told me, "Oh, are you Mexican? Really? You don't look like Mexican." And they think that it's like an accomplishment, and I'm okay. You look like from LA, or you look like you're from no, I don't know.
Yeah, but Mexicans in America a lot of times don't look like Mexicans in Mexico, though.
Yeah, that's the thing
That's
that
another thing I gotta tell guys all the time. Like,
yeah,
don't
that's
think
that I
the
don't
way the Mexicans look in your city or whatever is the way they're gonna look in Mexico.
no, there are a lot of people, and I think that that's a compliment to you. That oh, you don't look like a Mexican.
I don't think they
What?
think it's a compliment. It's just that people say shit as they think it, and they don't realize that it's ignorant and offensive.
Yeah, and then it's a little bit offensive because I don't know how
Yeah,
to take it.
it's like someone telling me, like, oh man, you're really smart. It's like what they're trying to say is that wow, you're really smart for a black guy, but that's just because I've been told that black people are less intelligent.
Yeah, that's the
Did you
same
see what I'm
thing.
trying to say? So it's
Yeah,
like they're a victim of their own ignorance.
yeah, that's a comment that I have been usually listening to guys that have been dated in Americans, not all, but some of them, and that's what I tell. Get away! I hate that fucking commentary. I really hate it. It's like really offensive. I don't know how to a Mexican supposed to look like.
I don't know
It's
how
like
this guy. I don't know how this guy is saying that he thinks that America is least racist compared to other places in the world. First of all, that statement is just so retarded on so many levels, bro. Do you know how many different places there are in the world? So, like, what are you really even saying right now? This is just, I don't know, man. It's like a sentence that a child's put together because you can't put it. There can't be any factual information in this fucking comment that you made, bro. I'm sorry. I just got to be real with you. Like, what are you talking about? You'd have to be specific. You'd have to say something like, I think America is more racist than the UK. You can't say, I would say America is least racist, though, compared to anywhere else in the world. Anywhere? Anywhere? Motherfucker, how many places in the world have you been? And then what is your metric? What would you be measuring that by? So you're saying anything right now. And then how would you even be defining racism? Like not in certain countries where you're legally not allowed to leave a certain area or zone because of your race or because of your religion? Because there are countries like that where you literally can't leave this particular area of the country because you were born into this religion or this race. Oh, that's right. America is less racist than that place? Come on, bro. You guys got to make better fucking comments as grown ass men. I expect more from men. I'm sorry. This is the type of shit, bibble babble, I expect children or emotional women to spew out. Nothing in what you just said makes any fucking sense, bro. I can't put it into any type of context because it's way too vague to begin with. America is a very racist place. All right? And again, you'd have to determine what metric you're using to determine racism. Because in other countries, they'll straight say what the fuck they think to your face. In America, they'll think it, but they won't say it to your face. You see what I'm saying? In America, they'll legally have to let you do certain things and blah, blah, blah. You'll be able to sue if you can prove this or prove that or whatever. But at the same time, the people aren't any more open-minded or less prejudiced or less racist. It's just that here we have certain laws and certain things set up a certain way. So, for example, something I noticed about the malls here. The malls will have one fucking entrance and one exit, which is impossible in America. Why? Because it would be a fire hazard. Nobody would spend that type of money to build a fucking mall and then risk being sued if something was to happen and people couldn't vacate quickly enough. But here in Mexico, they design shit like that intentionally for security and control. Here, they're more concerned with being able to control the population than they are with protecting the population. And here, should there have been a fire or whatever, they wouldn't have to worry about being sued because they don't give a shit about the people and the people don't have any rights. Nobody's going to be able to take you to court and say, I'm all fucked up because of your negligence and it's a liability and you're responsible. They're like, get the fuck out of here, lady. Go die somewhere. We don't care. You see what I'm trying to say? Completely different mindset. So my point is that's not because in America they care about the people. It's not because in America they care about your livelihood, they care about you as a human being. It's just that we have a different legal system, right? And the way that we make our money is different. So there literally be all these lawyers and all these different entities that have made an economy out of that. They made a business out of that. When the hurricanes come, the news will tell you that it's going to be category 5 and all this other bullshit. It's really not. And then there'll be all these companies that'll make a ton of money putting up shutters and all this fucking unnecessary shit, and then nothing's going to actually happen. All these insurance companies will make a ton of money charging all these people in insurance should something that isn't going to happen. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So they've made a whole economy out of that, and it's bullshit. So this is what I'm trying to say is that that's why this statement to me is just like, what are you supposed to make out of this? It's a small thinking. Because America is very fucking racist. But at the same time, they can't deny you to your face because of your race, just simply because we've made an economy out of race baiting. We've made an economy out of that being a case in court, is what I'm trying to say. But neither the lawyer or the judge or anybody involved gives two shits about you or your race or your people or your rights. They're just like, hey, this is a way to make money. That's what I'm trying to say. The same way that we go back and forth to court, to family court, to determine what's best for the child, yet nobody in the fucking room but the father gives a shit about what's best for the child. The judges don't care, the lawyers don't care, and the woman doesn't care what's best for the child. Everybody's there for monetary, personal gain, except for the father that's fighting to hold on to his resources and his rights to his child. But that entire system is under the pretense of family court. What's best for the family? That's America for you. Bullshit to make money. The bullshit that we care. We're about rights and freedom. And no, fuck that. America's about money. Right? And I feel like here in Mexico, it's about control. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's so many ways here to make money, but they're not taking advantage of it because they're more concerned with controlling the people. They're like, nah, fuck that. We want full control. And it's like, yeah, but you know you could make money if you did this and this and this. Is like, nah, fuck that. We're not giving people rights. We're not giving people, you see what I'm trying to say? It's just like, we just want to make money. I mean, I'm sorry, we just want to control the people. In America, the whole concept is like, have it your way if you're going to pay. If you're willing to pay a little extra, okay, we'll let you do this. We'll let you have this size. We'll let you do this till this time. This can be open till then. You can come here. There's always a way in America to pay for something that you want. Whereas here in Mexico, it's just like, no. It's like, yeah, I'll give you money. They're like, no. It's against the rules. It's like, yeah, but you'd make more money if you made this. No. And I'm just looking at this shit and I'm thinking to myself, this is fucking stupid. Anyhow, guys, you'd have to come to see what I'm trying to say, like all the different examples of how they could be making so much more money in so many areas of their society if they didn't prioritize just simply being able to control the people and not giving the people some type of freedom. All right, so you said, obviously you've dated American guys because you said you've been to America.
Yep.
All right, so we know the answer to that one. Now, tell me what your Mexican friends now, not non-Mexican, what your Mexican friends think and say about American guys.
Well, I can say that not all my friends have dated Americans, but the ones that have done that, they think the same as me. That sometimes they're a little bit more cold. We Latinos are like really expressive in physical ways, in physical contact and words, and we like to share hands. And if you go out to the streets, you can see couples kissing and hugging and taking hands, and that's so normal because we are like that.
I told you guys. You guys think I'm making this shit up? Real quick before I let her continue, bro. I just have another example. Real quick, guys. Real quick, because I don't want guys to think I'm making this shit up. I'm gonna give you another example of how overly affectionate Mexicans are for no goddamn reason. Yesterday, I saw more than one couple kissing through the fucking mask. Jesus Christ. I couldn't. Bro. Oh my God. I was like, there's more? Because I've been telling you guys that they are so overly affectionate, it makes you want to puke. It makes me want to vomit. Just seeing the ridiculous public shows of affection out here that are just like so over the top. And then yesterday I went to go get a hydrocolonic. I was minding my business trying to stay close to toilets at all time because it's really hard to get a hold of a restroom in Mexico. That's another thing I want to let you guys know ahead of time. In Mexico, they charge you to use the restroom. Yeah, I know. Let that sink in because a lot of you probably like, what are you talking about? No, I'm dead serious. Like, they charge to use a restroom. Like, you have to pay to use restrooms. And if you go to like a restaurant or something like that, you have to like actually spend money before you can even consider using the restroom. There isn't gonna be let me just run in here real quick and use the restroom. Like they don't play that shit. They're guarding the restroom. There's a place that I went where there's a dude that like stands there with a gun and has to like literally let you in. He has to swipe a card to let you in the fucking bathroom like it's a goddamn bank vault. You can think I'm making this shit up if you want. Come to Mexico City and see it for yourself. But anyway, I was trying to stay close to restrooms and shit in case a nigga gotta go, because when you get your colon cleansed, sometimes it can come abruptly. And I noticed two different couples kissing through the fucking face mask. And I just was like, yo, that's it. That's it. That one takes the cake. It's gonna be a while before somebody tops that. Kissing through the mask. Anyway, continue telling us how affectionate Mexican people are.
Of course, we are. We are not only Mexicans. I can think all Latino people are. We are.
I've been around a lot of Latino people. I'm sorry, Mexicans take it to a whole nother level. I'm from New
Maybe
York,
you have
full
to
of
go.
Dominicans and Puerto Ricans.
Maybe you have to go to Colombia.
I've been to Colombia multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mexico still takes the cake.
Maybe we are.
It's on a whole nother level.
I have a lot of Latino friends that are from South America. I am Mexican, and I can say all Latinos are.
All Latinos are affectionate, but Mexicans take it to another level.
Maybe we love to share physical contact.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I can
exactly.
say.
I know social distancing had to be Mission Impossible Tom Cruise times 50 for you guys, because
It was hard, but we passed it through. Now we are in this phase that we have to have the physical contact apart because of the COVID.
you know,
Now
ain't
we
nobody
can.
doing that. Nobody's doing that here. Bro.
Now we can, and so that's why. But we are like that, and I really don't like guys that are as cold as fuck. I love.
Yeah, but you're talking about
Cold.
an extreme. I'm not talking about being cold as fuck. I'm
Well,
talking about
in the
their
extreme of
affection is to
in the extreme
another
of your
level.
society, that's what I can say. In the extreme of your
Yeah.
way of thinking. Here in
No.
Mexico,
All right,
we are like
this
that.
is what I'm trying to say. Okay. I'll give you an example. Right? Like I said, I've been around tons of Latin people from so many different countries my entire life. And we're Mexicans, or we're Latin people in general, will generally speaking be more affectionate than other cultures, is in the coming and the going. So, for example, when Latin people first see each other and they greet each other, they will hug, they will kiss. A lot of times, even the guys will kiss each other. Like, for example, in Miami, Cuban guys will actually kiss each other on the cheek. Okay, different, weird, whatever, we get used to it. The point is it's in the coming. Okay? Dime papi, what's up? Mwah, mwah, what's good, bro? That's it, it happened. They haven't seen each other in 24 hours, 50 hours, a week, whatever. They saw each other, they greeted each other, they hugged, they kissed. Is that more affectionate than Europeans? Yes. Is it more affectionate than Americans? Yes. Caribbean people? Yes. Okay, that's the end of that. Now they're leaving. Same thing. They hug. Cool. All right? I have a lot of Dominican friends. I have a lot of Cuban friends. So at some point in time, even I could get with it to an extent. When I haven't seen like one of my Latin friends in a really long time, I might actually hug them. Right? Whereas if I see a Jamaican dude, I'm not going to be hugging him. It's a different culture. But I lived in Miami for years. And before Miami, I lived in New York. In New York, I had a lot of Dominican friends there. So I get it. The point that I'm making is that it's in the coming and the going. Puerto Rican women, they will kiss each other. Okay? Puerto Rican men and women or Dominican men and women, Latin men and women, they can just be friends. But they will kiss each other. More affectionate than everyone else. Yes. Now, with their children, Latin people will kiss their children in the mouth. This is another thing that other cultures find very weird. Some cultures find it very disturbing because if you got a grown-ass man that's kissing his daughter in the mouth, it's like, to them, that's normal. But to other people on the outside looking in, it's like, yo, why are you 34 kissing a 4-year-old in the mouth. And then the women do it too. The women will kiss their sons in the mouth. Okay. The point is, that's more affectionate than everyone else. And at some point in time, we just understand that we accept it. Now, wherever I would put that, if I put that on notch 5, right? 2 dudes kissing each other, notch 7. Kissing your kid in the mouth, I don't know, notch 8. 2 girls kissing each other on the cheek or whatever, notch 3.5. Okay? Kissing a guy that's not your boyfriend or something like that, notch 2 maybe. Mexican people, notch 20. That's what I'm trying to say. The shit that you guys do, that shit is on double digits on the notch scale. It's just like, what am I watching right now? So that's all I'm saying, is that you can't say, oh, that's just Latin people. I'm sorry, I've traveled. And I lived in cities that are very diverse and have a lot of immigrants from other countries. And Mexican people, no disrespect, don't be over there getting offended. I'm just being honest. Your level of affection is on another level. And like I said, everyone else, it's a coming and going kind of thing. With Mexican people, it's coming, being there, 5 minutes have gone by, 15 minutes have gone by, we've been together for 2 hours now, we're leaving, but we're not really leaving. The entire time it's constant, hugging, touching, kissing, the entire time. You need your hands to do other things, but you're inconveniencing yourself because you're like, nah, but I can't stop holding her hand. It's like, here, I use my card. Can you just put your signature here? And the guy is like literally sitting there trying to figure out, how can I sign this while still holding my girl's hand? Because that's the most important thing, that's holding her hand. So just, babe, can you just let me sign this while still holding you and hugging you? Because we can't stop doing that, not even for a second. I'm trying to eat my taco right now, but I gotta hold you and hug you too while eating my taco, because I can't let a moment go by that we're not showing affection. So, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm just being honest on what I'm seeing. And to other people, it's very peculiar, because it's like, why is this so necessary? Why is everybody acting like they haven't seen this person in forever, and this person is about to be ripped apart from them, and they'll never see him again?
It's part of our culture. That's what I can say. It's all that I can say.
As long as we admit that that's a thing here. So I'm just letting you guys know that the way that we see that as an extreme is the way that the women here will see you just being normal in your mind, as being what she said, cold as fuck. So not holding hands and kissing all the time.
Not all the time, but it's a really thing. It's really different. That's you are saying.
Very.
You are saying that you already said that. You are not used to that kind of physical contact. We are. So it's a cultural breakout when you are dating an American man. Wow, that's the deal. You want to kiss him, and you want him to kiss you, and you want to hold hands sometimes. And
no, don't say sometimes. Don't be misleading. Don't be misleading.
If you have dated, it's the kind of woman that you have. If you have dated maybe some girls are not like maybe understanding that. I have dated American men, and I know that they are not used to all this physical contact. So I'm not waiting all the time for that, but it's hard. So that's what that hasn't worked. Well, other things too, but
hold on, because I want everybody to be on the same page here. But you do understand what I mean by it's past being like a preference thing, or like you're used to it thing. It gets into the area of it doesn't make sense, like it's not practical. And I'm going to give an example of what I'm trying to say. Like, I'll take the train here from time to time just because I like to be like in the mix. I don't go places and stay with a tourist or whatever. I like to see what's going on and be in the meat of it all, right? So the metro here is a huge inconvenience. It's not something you're like gonna enjoy, but I do it anyway just to experience it, right? The amount of times that I've been on the metro, and guys will be walking through the metro, through the train station, holding hands. Again, it's very inconvenient because of the way there's so much traffic and people bumping into each other, but he will maintain holding these hands and having to do this. And it's like, all right, at this point, it's like a job to try to hold her hand through this. It's really holding you guys up, trying to get where you're trying to get. Then they'll go down the stairs and it'll be super complicated for them to maintain this holding the hands bullshit, but they'll still do it. It's a job, right? And they're determined. Then they'll get on the goddamn train, and of course, him being a gentleman, this part I agree with, he'll be trying to look for a seat for her and try to give her the seat if there's only one available, which they will be. So now he will make sure that she gets the seat, but then he'll still try to maintain the holding the hand. While he's standing, she's sitting, there's several people like in between them, and he'll still be like I've literally seen a woman, people in between them the guy, and them still trying to hold hands like through the people. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Just let her sit there. You stand there, hold the rail. When you get to your stop, you both get off. You can hold hands again. God damn. So I want you guys to understand how bizarre it is. How these people act like they cannot break this connection. It's like Avatar when they plug their fucking ponytails in together. They act like they cannot disconnect. They act like if they disconnect, the power's gonna go out. So that's all I'm saying. I want you to be clear. I don't want people to think like, Ayanda, you're overreacting. She just wants to hold hands sometimes. Like, no. The people here act like they cannot stop touching each other under any circumstances or somehow their relationship is going to end. And in everywhere else in the fucking world, that's looked at as extremely needy and insecure. So I want you to understand that the women here can't take it personal when the guys aren't behaving that way, because Mexico is the only place in the world I've ever experienced that type of behavior being rewarded by women. If guys act like that anywhere else, it's going to be a huge turnoff to the female. Do you see what I'm trying to say?
Of course, that's what I say. It's a cultural thing. It's cultural. If you came here, most of the people, we are really affectionate. We like to share a physical contact.
Okay.
That's the truth. But if you are dating and foreigner, you have to understand that. I have been with foreigners. You have to understand that they are not used to that. Some of them will like it. Because
that's what I was about to say to you. I don't think all American guys are going to not like that. I think a lot of American guys are like, really?
In fact, I have been with some guys that really like that you are affectionate. That
because they're deprived of it in America.
Because you're a caring woman and you like to spoil your man and stuff like that. And they like that. But I have been with the other side like you, that the guys like you that like it and that they think, I know, it's like too much. So that's
yeah, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
And I want you to understand it, because I want the men and the women to understand what they're up against. Because, again, in Western culture and in most cultures elsewhere, if the guy behaves even remotely like that, it's going to turn the female all the way off. She's going to look at it as cringe. She's going to look at it as creepy. She's going to look at it as dependent, as weak, as insecure, thirsty. All of these things. Possessive. Okay? And like the guys do all kind of mate guarding here. For you guys that know what mate guarding is, when I see the mate guarding, that part is just really like, all right, dude, find a fucking bridge and jump off of it. Because the mate guarding part is the part where I have to say, you are officially a fucking asshole on this one. Because all that affectionate shit and holding hands and all that shit that I think and we think is like weird and bizarre, again, the guys here get rewarded for it. So I want to be clear on that. I'm not saying like the guys here are big losers because they hold hands, because the women here reward that. They love it. There's a lot of poor ass guys here that have absolutely nothing to offer a woman except for constant, nonstop, 24/7 affection, which is free. You don't have to work hard to get that. That's just you being willing to kiss every 15 and a half seconds and you being willing to hold a sweaty ass palm with her indefinitely. And I've said that before, that there's tons of guys here that are literally paying for their relationship with affection, with attention. And that is the direct opposite of what we see in the Western world. There's guys that are like giving girls all the time and attention in the world, and the girls are not interested because they want the money, they want the trips, they want the clothes, they want the gifts, the presents, the jewelry, they want the height, they want, you know what I'm saying? They want all the material shit. They don't give two shits about how nice of a guy you are and how many times you call and say I love you and you wanting to hold hands and kissy face. They don't care about none of that shit in the Western world. All right? They care about all the material shit. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is it is literally in a direct opposite extreme. You will see pretty girls here with unattractive guys, and they will both have nothing material. They both will be taking the bus and the train, okay? They both will not have any type of like money. They won't have designer clothes. They won't have iPhones or anything like that, but they'll be happy in love with little fucking imaginary birds flying around them chirping in their own little world. And the city is amazingly busy and packed and crowded, but they're still in their own little la 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 la. So for a lot of you dudes, this might be the perfect fucking place for you, right? Because you're lonely, women aren't giving you time and attention, and you're there twiddling your thumb saying, but I'm a nice guy, and I care, and I love her, and I will hold her hand, but she doesn't want me. Come to Mexico, bro. Come to Mexico. Because they reward that shit here, right? But the maid guarding part, that's the part where I say, okay, homeboy, you're taking an L. And the reason why I say that is because the dudes here will be maid guarding, but the bitch is over here googly eyeing with some other guy. The amount of times I see women staring at me here, and I could tell all the things that are going on in their head, and the guy can see it too, but instead of him being like, oh, hell no, how dare you, his action is to now start maid guarding. So then he starts like physically holding her, like as to say something to me, and it's like, listen, dickhead, I don't want your bitch. I have no interest in your bitch. That's your bitch. That's your shit. You see what I'm trying to say? You need to check her. So whatever type of gesture that you're trying to do to let me know, oh, this is mine. Like, no, nigga, make a gesture to her. Remind her. You see what I'm trying to say? Don't make guard for me, motherfucker. I don't care. If you're holding her hand, I don't care if you got her on your shoulders like a fucking child. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care if you hold her in your arms like a baby. No kind of physical gesture that you're going to do is going to mean anything to me. Your bitch has a wandering eye. So the maid guarding thing, I think here is lost because the girl is actually gazing at something more than what she thought was possible. So I think what it is that here, the women understand that I don't have a visa. I'm not going anywhere. The population is huge. I'm not special. So if I can have a guy that's going to treat me like I'm special, I'm lucky. Like, I'm lucky just to have that. I value that. And if I had to explain why it's like that, it's so drastically different, is because women operate based on what they believe is possible, what they believe their options are. And I think the women here are born and raised knowing that, listen, you're born here, you're going to die here. This is what it is. There are some women that have visas, they can travel. There's some women that can speak English and whatever. Great, wonderful. But let's be realistic. That's a very small part of the demographic. And I know you know that. That's a very small part of the population that could even have the aspirations of one day I'm going to go live in Dallas, Texas, right? Or I'm going to be a flight attendant and travel around the world and meet different interesting people. But 95% of the population here, they have accepted that, listen, this is what it is. This is what it is right here. And it's not going to be no better than this. And I think that's why so many of the women here can be satisfied and content with just this one guy who isn't special in any way, because what makes him special is that he's willing to devote everything to her. And that's what makes him valuable, is that out of all these guys, he's willing to treat me like I'm the most special, importantest thing in the entire world. And we know that women are all about feelings, right? Whereas in these other countries that we're more familiar with, the women, the sky is the limit. All right? In America, when a woman opens up her Instagram, you know what that means? That means infinite possibilities. Infinite. Anything is possible. Anywhere is possible. You know why? Because she was born with the right to have a passport. So she can go anywhere. Here, it doesn't matter if some guy DMs a girl, hey, you're actually kind of beautiful. Really? Me? I don't speak very good English. No worries. You ever been to Dubai? No, I've never been to Dubai. I'm using the translator right now, by the way, so forgive me if my English isn't too good. Oh, no problem. I'll fly you to Dubai. That's not going to happen. You know why? She doesn't have a fucking visa to travel. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So that's the end of that. So that guy that she has that's going to hold her hand on the train while 14 people are in between them, somehow he developed the Stretch Armstrong mutant ability from the Fantastic Four. That guy, that's her best option right now. Right? So her DMs mean nothing because her government's not giving her a visa. So that right there, I think, is the crux of the advantage, guys. If I had to narrow it down, that's why you have such a strong advantage in Mexico, is because the women here have already accepted their limitations. Whereas in the West, the women always want more because they have been raised to believe that more is a possibility. More is an option. You get what I'm trying to say? There is no limit. So no matter how much you give to a woman in America, in her mind, she's always like, yeah, but I can find a guy that could do more than this. It's possible. It can happen. It's likely to happen. Right? I could get a guy that's 6'2", 6'4". It can happen. I don't think in Mexico the women are like, oh no, he has to be 6'2". Do you see what I'm trying to say? Because we're all these guys that are 6'2", 6'4" in Mexico.
Well, maybe it depends on the kind of woman you are treating. I don't know how to say that, but of course, most of the women, I can say that most of them are like that. You're saying, you can, that they can aspire to something else.
Right. They're humble.
Yeah, but there are another kind of woman that can do better.
Oh no, of course. That's not what I'm saying. All day.
So maybe you have to choose what you can offer and what you can receive. That's what I say. My case, I can say I like the half and half. I like men that can gives me the physical contact.
Mm-hmm.
But
Want money too?
I know, yeah, of course. Of course, that's the truth. I think that I have money. I don't need a man's money. But if you want to grow as a couple, I think that both have to work and do the job together. That's what I think. But
I mean,
but most of men don't think that.
There's a guy that can come and pay all your shit though. So.
But I don't need that.
That would stop. Whoops, let me stop you right there. Ain't nobody say anything about need. Because if you let me finish, what I was gonna say is, and then you could just go ahead and go to work because you feel like it. You go to work because you like it. Yeah. So there's a guy that's like, listen, I could pay all this shit. Like I don't, you don't need to work, and then you could work because you want to.
That's what I want. That's what I try to say. I really like a man that can pay.
Right.
But that I can work too because I want to work, and that not limits to me. But here in Mexico, in Mexico, a lot of guys don't like that you work.
Of course not.
And that's the truth.
Which is weird because the guys here can't afford for you not to work. So it's like motherfucker, you just making yourself aggravated. Because you don't like the idea of her working and making her own money, but at the same time, you can't afford to provide for her otherwise.
Yeah, that's the truth.
So you're just frustrating yourself, because you're not that guy. You're not at that caliber. And I believe that if you want to be picky about women, bro, you have to be in a position to be selective. You have to be in a position to be able to say, listen, fuck all of that. I can pay for this. If you expect a woman not to put her work before you, you have to be able to provide what her job provides for her and more. I mean, that's kind of common sense. The same way that when women get to be complaining about some other chick, it's like, yeah, but if that other chick is doing more for me or she's better behaved than you, then shut up. I don't want to hear anything that the fuck you're saying. I don't. And I tell women that all the time. They're always trying to tell me about some other chick. It's like, yeah, but hold on. If this other chick is being more pleasant and more, she's cooperating more than you, then you're not in a position to sit here and be upset. You see what I'm saying? That a guy spending time with some other chick, that's easier to deal with. It just doesn't make any sense. You expect him to spend time with you and all you do is complain about other shit. He's going to want to be with the chick that's easygoing and just happy to have some of his time, when he has it to give, rather than complaining to him about all the shit that you don't like. So I understand what you're saying. I've seen it. The guys here, like, they really be acting like a chick is not supposed to have a job, and it's like, then how is she supposed to pay for shit if she's single? If she's not married, then what the fuck you expect her to do? And they get upset when the chick is like, I have to work or I have to do that. And it's like, that's everybody. Everybody here has to work. What are you really saying, Poppy? But I think the natural order, or the way it should be, is that the guy is in a position to afford to be able to provide for the woman. And if the woman wants to work because she's interested in that field, maybe she wants to be a teacher and work with children or whatever she wants to do, it should be based on her feelings. That's just my opinion. I don't think women should have to work.
I agree.
To make ends meet, or to, I don't feel like they're designed to handle that type of pressure, is what I'm trying to say. And the same thing in a relationship. What a woman is contributing to a man in the relationship, it shouldn't be because he needs it. You shouldn't be depending on your woman as a man. Like, what the fuck kind of shit is that? But she should be doing things for the man because she loves him and she helps. She wants the best for him. She knows that he could do all of this shit without her, but she wants to make it even easier. She wants to help him focus more. Like, yeah, I know you got this, but how can I add value? How can I help you become even more successful? How can I give you more of an edge, more of an advantage? And I think that's where women excel for themselves, as well in regards to being in a relationship with a man. When the relationship is like the man depending on the woman, we're not in a good place here. And if women can be that committed and that focused to their career, well, what does that tell you? Why are they that? Because the career is what provides their livelihood. So if they have a man that's providing that livelihood, what do you think is going to happen with that ambition? It's going to be directed towards that man, right? She would be that dedicated to being there for that man now, if he's the one that's paying all the bills and providing the lifestyle. So there are a lot of guys in America, England, Canada, so on and so forth, that are making enough money to provide for a woman, especially a practical, grateful, humble woman from a country like Mexico. A lot of you guys think you can't afford to maintain a woman because you're thinking in terms of Western women that want $2,000 handbags and fucking $1,000 shoes and all kind of unnecessary bullshit. But as far as just taking care of another adult human being, there's a lot of guys in the Western world that can afford to do that. And you guys need to come somewhere where the women are going to be like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me I don't got to work anymore? I don't got to work for 200 fucking pesos? Really? All I got to do is cook and clean and shit like that? Yes, I'll marry you. Yes, I'll be respectful. Yes, I'll respect you as a man. Yes, I'll be cooperative. Yes, I'll be submissive. Be feminine. What do you mean? But I already am feminine every day, all day. You see what I'm saying? Like Western guys will come here thinking to themselves, yeah, man, she really acts feminine. It's like, you fucking idiot. She doesn't act feminine. That's just how she is. She's like that before she met you. She's like that every day, all day. In America, we have to want our women to be more cooperative. We have to want them to be more feminine, to act more feminine. In these other parts of the world, that's just how the women already are. It's not you, nigga. She's already like that. She's not acting feminine because she likes you. She's a feminine female, right? So anyhow, I'm gonna ask you two more questions and I'm gonna let you go. What do you like most about Americans, and what do you dislike most about Americans?
The thing that I most like of American guys, that's they're more open to those things that you're saying, that that if I like to work, I can work even if I don't need to work. If you are providing myself, you cannot relate to that. Okay, you can go if you want, but you don't need to. If you are with me, I'm providing you. Mexican men don't do that. Most of them, they don't understand that. The jealousy stuff, Latin and Mexican, most Mexican, I can say, they're like really jealous guys.
That's a Latin thing. I'll agree with you. That's a Latin thing in general.
Yeah, they are so jealous, and you can sometimes you can even go to say hi to a friend, and then like, who's him and what's his and then,
It's funny that you say that because I'll tolerate that from Latin women only. That's why it's funny that you say that. But all that overly friendly shit with guys, I wouldn't tolerate that from a non-Spanish speaking woman.
well, but it not necessarily. I understand, but I not necessarily means that I am having something with that
That's
guy.
why that's the only women that I'll accept that from are Spanish speaking
Yeah,
because I understand the culture.
yeah,
But a
yeah,
black woman, absolutely not. An American woman, absolutely not.
yeah. I'm sure.
If you
I'm
don't
sure.
speak Spanish and you're over here giving a guy a kiss on the cheek, we got a fucking problem. You see what I'm trying to say? It's a different culture.
Yeah, that's
Just
what
like
I
if
was
I'm in
saying.
Jamaica and another dude comes up to me and asks if he could dance with my date, we got a problem.
Yeah, that's what I was
But if
trying
I'm
to
in Puerto
tell you.
Rico and a guy is asking to dance with my date, it's like, all right, man, go ahead,
That's what I was trying to
have
tell
fun,
you
have
after
fun.
that. That it's different culture,
It's a
so
different culture,
we look
exactly.
that normal. We don't think that it's extreme because we are used to that. But I understand that other countries may can find that like weird
No, they look at it as
or
disrespectful.
uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah, they look at it as some type of flirting and all that other kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's what I have to say. Not always when the Latin woman is hugging you to say hello. It's like you
Trust me.
like
I
him. No.
know. These are people that kiss their children in the mouth. I know. So one of these guys is asking, I guess what the way some of you guys phrase these goddamn questions, bro. I would love to see how you text women. But I'm gonna interpret it. What he's asking is, do you prefer American black guys or American white guys?
Mm, well, I have no kind of racial preferences. That is what I can say. I only take care of the chemistry between the guy that I'm dating. If
It's more important.
I don't care if it's white or Latin or black
Mm-hmm.
or Asian or I don't care. Even not only on Americans. I don't care about that. It's
Right.
just chemistry. If I like him, he likes me. We can have a great moment, share a great moment. I don't care.
Yeah, man, I did these 10 episodes because I wanted guys to understand how different Mexican women think from Western women. And I probably didn't do a good job of it, but those type of questions are why I was trying to do this because in the West, that black and white thing, it's like, again, it's very binary. In the West, women either like black guys or they like white guys. That's it. For girls from Australia, she's not gonna like be dating black guys, but then she's also dating white guys. It's you're like almost never gonna see that. You're not gonna know some chick from Toronto. This chick is from Canada, and she's like dating a black guy, and then 3 months later she's dating a white guy, and then her next boyfriend is. But it doesn't work that way, right? So English speaking women, it's like one or the other, and like that's the preference. Like it's set in stone. So what I want guys to understand is that Mexican women think completely different. So to answer that question, in Mexico there isn't going to be like some chick that's like, "Oh no, I only date black guys," or "Oh no, I only date white guys." It's not like that.
Mm.
She's just going to date you based on, just like she said, the type of connection that you guys make. Straight up. So here white guys are not in any less of a demand than black guys. And I know that's hard for a lot of guys to get through their fucking head because, like all human beings, you're conditioned. And the problem with humans is they need a base of reference. That's just the way the human brain is set up. We need a base of reference. So it's hard trying to have certain conversations with people with things they've never experienced. If they've never left a certain area, it's hard to try to talk to them about another part of the world. They're not going to get it. So a lot of you white guys are stuck in this way of thinking of like, wait, does she like black guys? Because you're already used to a place where if a girl likes black guys, you have zero chances in fucking hell. It's over. It's a done deal. You see what I'm saying? There are some women that would have dated white guys in their past, and then they might start fucking with black guys. There are very few women that are gonna date black guys and then start dating white guys. And if they are, you don't want to be that white guy because by default, it's because she done fucked her life up dating the wrong black guys, and now she's waiting for one of you sucker MCs to come, and Vanilla Ice fix her shit. So I just want you guys to know that you can't have preconceived notions about women from any particular country until you go there yourself. All right. I had my expectation for Canadian women based on dating Canadian women in America. When I went to Canada, I already knew getting off the plane, I'm going to judge these women accordingly to what I experience here in Canada. I'm not going to expect it to be the same as all the Canadian chicks that I dated in America. Although it was. It just happened to be the fucking same. But for example, Colombian women. I've dated women in Colombia. I've dated Colombian women in Miami. Not the same. Not the same at all. Night and day. I didn't deal with too many Mexican chicks in America, but I can tell you right now, Mexican people in America are completely different than Mexican people in Mexico. The culture is even different. And that can be very misleading because you're like, oh, yeah, man, I know these people from Texas, they're Mexican. Or, oh, I know these people from Arizona, they're Mexican. Or, oh, I know these people from Vegas, they're Mexican. It's not the same. I promise you. I promise you. The culture is completely different. The thought process is completely different. I have tons of people I know in America from different cities that are Mexican, but they are nothing like the people that I know in Mexico. All right? Jamaicans, Cubans, people are just different once they get to a different environment. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. All right? All right, so thank you, Rose, for coming and being honest in English because we were struggling.
Thank you for having me. So, welcome to Mexico. Come.
Thank you for your English because we were struggling. I was struggling with the women that weren't speaking English. And I felt like they had so much to tell us, but
They couldn't.
they were. I just didn't understand it. You know, because I want them to say it anyway, because there are some people that speak Spanish. So they get it. I don't, unfortunately. All right? But thank you. And, guys, come to fucking Mexico and see it for your goddamn self. All right? Come and see what it is. Fall in love, hold hands, you know, be affectionate, kiss in the street, you know.
It's fun.
No. Bro, listen, let me tell you something, man. I have no problem with not liking something and not being into something, but still respecting people's choice or preference or whatever. And I know for a fact there's a lot of American guys that when I said that, it sounded like Disneyland to them. They were like, really? The women there appreciate affection and they like, oh, I like hugs. I like hugs. I like kisses too. Public shows of affection. I'm going to get my passport. Yeah, go get your fucking passport. Should already have one. And don't be afraid of all the areas that they tell you are dangerous and all that other shit. That's another thing about Mexico that trips me out. The people will swear up and down so much shit is dangerous. It's just like, if you believe them, it's, I don't know, man. You guys consider a lot of stuff dangerous that's not dangerous. Not to us, it's not. But I don't want you guys to be scared and like, oh no, I'm scared to go to Mexico. I know a lot of people are scared. And when you're scared, what happens is you don't get anything out of it because you end up only going to Cancun and shit like that, and then you're not gonna meet the Mexican girl that you want in Cancun. No, you're not. It's not gonna. It's like going to the major part of the city in Medellin, thinking you're gonna meet the Colombian girl you want. No, you're not. You're gonna meet the Colombian prostitutes. Is what's gonna happen. You can't go to a certain part of Rio de Janeiro think you're gonna find a wife. It's like, no, you're not. So that's what I'm saying. Just be wary of that, guys. I know not a lot of you guys are like, yeah, I'm gonna go check out Mexico. Yeah, I'm gonna take your advice, and then next thing you know, your ass is staying in a resort in Cancun, and I'm just over here like, you fucking idiot. That's not what I told you to do. All right, go to Mexico City or any other places where you can really get a feel for the people and the culture. Stay away from the tourism shit, and I don't know, touch up on your Spanish. All right, man. So with that, we're out of here.
Bye.
Adios.